So where this story starts, I am on my way to tell my husband about a very exciting phone call I just received. I have just been invited to go on a trip to study worker cooperatives in Spain. Very exciting. I'm on my way to tell Ian when I remember. My passport is expired. Telling Ian his question is always pragmatic. Can you get a new passport in time? The answer from the passport agency website is probably maybe. It depends on a whole slew of requirements and circumstances. My circumstances, this trip is in 5 weeks. If you haven't already sent in everything you need to get your passport, don't bother. What you're going to have to do is wait until it's 14 days before your international travel. You have to have proof of your international travel. And then what you're going to have to do, what I am going to do, is go to one of the several passport agencies around the country in person with all of your documents to apply there. There's one in Chicago, Atlanta, DC, Detroit. I want to go to Spain. So I am willing to do what it takes so far. All I have to do is wait. I have to wait these 3 weeks before I can even make a phone call. But that's not actually all you have to do. I have to get everything ready so I am prepared to apply in person. After I realized I didn't have a passport, I contacted the people who invited me on the trip, filled them in on the situation. We decided it was still worth trying, and we decided to make my plane ticket refundable, just in case. So now all I have to do is wait these 3 weeks. I don't just wait. I decide it's a great time to get a new haircut because I'm about to get some pictures taken. And everything that goes into my newly minted Spain folder. I am living in the reality where I get to go. This is a thing because I've been in situations where I've had to jump through a never-ending line of bureaucratic hoops before, and somewhere along the way where I think I've already done everything I need, something happens that keeps me from actually being able to qualify for the thing or get to the place. So I'm not sure if this is going to work out for me. I actually see 2 possible future realities folding out in front of me. One, where everything works out fine and I get to go to Spain, and the other, where some technicality derails things along the way and I end up staying here. This is more familiar to me. Then it's time. It's time to call the passport agency and get my appointment. It's 14 days before my international travel. I have proof of my ticket in my Spain folder, and I call the agency. It doesn't take very long to get through, actually, and an operator starts asking me a series of questions, including, when are you traveling? I answer, and then the operator says, oh, you're not actually eligible to set your appointment yet. You can call back on Monday. I am stunned, but oh, okay, thank you. Have a good weekend. We hang up the phone. There is nothing else I can do about it now. I do have a great weekend. Monday rolls around, 8 a.m. first thing, I am on the phone. I do not get through. I actually get a pre-recorded message that says, basically, we're so busy on Mondays, we are not going to answer your call. Do not even bother. But I do bother. I call back. I call back multiple times that day. This hotline is open from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. I am calling, the sun has set, and I am still calling this number. I never get through. I am discouraged. I'm telling Ian about the day, and he reminds me, I am doing everything that I need to do. I am doing everything within my power to stay in the reality where I get to go to Spain. Ian reminds me it is worth trying. Ian reminds me the only thing that's left for me to do today is go to sleep. Tuesday morning rolls around, 8 a.m., I am on the phone making the phone call to the agency. I get through. I am greeted by an operator named Malika. Malika starts asking me questions. I have answered these questions before. I would like an appointment at the Detroit agency, and I am traveling internationally on Friday, April 21st. After answering the questions, she gets the day that I'm traveling. I know that I qualify to make this phone call today, so I am not worried. Malika is typing into the computer, and I imagine I hear the enter key. We wait. And Malika says, okay, Rachel, the first available appointment in Detroit is at 8 a.m. on Friday, April 21st. I am not prepared for this. I have jumped through all of the hoops. I have followed all of their rules. I am not prepared to hear that the first opportunity for me to have this appointment to hopefully get to Spain is actually on the exact same day that my provable international travel is happening. I am supposed to be flying on Friday, April 21st. I am thinking to myself, there is no possible way that I could, even if I got my passport instantaneously, that I could get from Detroit back to Cincinnati in time to make this flight. I don't know what to do. What I want to do is hang up the phone call, go have a good cry, and come back to this sometime later. I do not do that. Instead, I take a breath, I take a beat, and that gives me space to remember. We made my ticket refundable, which means I can change my ticket. At this point, I am talking all of this out loud with Malika. I'm not great at processing things quickly, so I am trying to get through this. I am processing this out loud with Malika. I am saying I can change my ticket from Friday to Saturday. I will still get there before the tour starts. Yes, the 8 a.m. appointment in Detroit on Friday, the April 21st, please. There are a couple more questions Malika has to ask me to confirm my appointment. I give her the answers, and then I hear the enter key, and we wait. The 8 a.m. appointment is no longer available. In the short amount of time that I managed to process this information and actually make a decision and say, yes, please, it is gone. And I'm thinking, this is it. This is as far as I make it. I am in a moment outside of time until Malika's voice pulls me back. She says, would you like to try for the 8:30? I say, yes, please, like holding in tears. There are still those few other questions I have to answer. Malika remembers some of the information. I give her the rest of the information. I feel like at this point, we both have a sense of urgency. I feel like Malika also wants me to make it to Spain. I hear the enter key, and then Malika says, I have your confirmation code. Are you ready? I say, yes, I am ready. And I write that confirmation code on the outside of my Spain folder. I have my appointment. All I have to do now is I need to change my flight. I finish up with Malika and I do just that. I change my flight and now all I have to do is wait. The 9 days until I actually drive up to Michigan. I've already said it with my TA and my TO that I'm going to spend Thursday night with them. They live just 25 minutes from the building I need to get to. I drive up to Michigan. The roads are fine. My TOs treat me so amazingly that Friday morning I am relaxed and I feel like I am just going into the city to take care of some business. I know exactly the parking lot I'm going to use because I scoped it out online already. It's going to cost $14, but that's okay for the peace of mind. It is only a block away from the building that I need to get to. I get to the parking lot, I pay, I walk to the building. It is not open because I am very early. There are a few of us waiting around with our folders, and then we get in. It's a federal building, so there are metal detectors, there's an elevator, we get to our floor. There is a security guard outside of the agency making sure you have that appointment. Inside, there's a line of people. People are going up to a first window. This is where you have your application and you give them all of your documents. If you have everything, they then put a giant paper clip on it with a number and tell you to sit in the lobby until the second window calls you. When you're called up to the second window, this is where you pay. And this is actually the first time, at the very end of this entire process, the first time that I have any shred of evidence that I might make it to Spain, getting my passport in time, when the teller turns my application to the side and with amazing penmanship writes 3 p.m. pickup. I have finally a shred of confidence and belief that I am going to get my passport in time. I have been living in this reality without fully believing that I am here. But it's only 8:30 in the morning and 3 o'clock is 6 hours away, so now all I have to do is wait. In Detroit, I go to the art museum. I come back to the area early again, but this time I see a street spot, a parallel parking spot next to the $14 parking lot, and I'm going there because that's only $2. And the $12 difference is most of the way to an airport salad. In my mind, I am on my way to Spain. I walk to the building. I've been here before. Metal detectors, elevators, security guard. There are a lot of us here to pick up our passports at 3 p.m. I'm paying attention to what happens at the windows. The people go up, they pass their receipt. I have my receipt. The teller takes it, turns to drawers of blue envelopes, turns back around, hands a blue envelope. The person leaves on their way with their passport. This is what I'm expecting when I walk up to the window. I hand my receipt under the glass. The teller takes my receipt, turns to the drawers of blue envelopes and starts looking for mine. This goes on longer than I am comfortable. I have the feeling this is it. This is the moment where some technicality means that my passport is not with all the other passports and I don't get to go. We are both now looking at the person coming through the special door with a fresh batch of blue envelopes, and I am telling myself there's a possibility that is there. It is still able to happen. And then I hear someone on the other side of the glass say, Dominguez, not Benner. She was just looking up the wrong half of my last name. In no time at all, she turns and a blue envelope is coming under the glass towards me. She says, sit in the lobby and make sure everything is right before you leave. I think that's a good idea, so I follow the directive. I take a seat and I take this moment. I feel the weight of my new passport in my hand. I rub my fingers over the texture. The security is a lot different than when I got my last passport. My name is right. My birth date is right. It is my photo. This is my passport. I am going to Spain. But there's no time to wait around because I also have to drive over 200 miles back to Dayton today so that Ian can drive me to Cincinnati tomorrow. He drops me off at the airport departures. I am in my travel outfit that has been laid out for 3 weeks. I am cinched my backpack, my one bag that I am taking with me to Spain. I walk through the automatic double doors to the self-service kiosk and I start my check-in. And then when the machine prompts me, I am able to take out my crispy new passport and scan it on the machine and it prints my boarding passes. And now all I have to do is wait, to sit back, relax, and enjoy my flight. The first place they send me is back to Detroit, and then through Paris, and then I land in Bilbao, Spain. But actually getting to Spain was not the biggest deal of this whole thing for me. The biggest deal was in all of those moments where I did not believe it was going to happen, and I kept going. I am so appreciative of myself and the people around me who continued to believe that the future I held in my mind is worth trying for. Thank you.